Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? In this video, let's try to integrate the square root of a quadratic function. Whenever you see a square root and a quadratic together in integrals, remember that you have to do something called as completing square method. Now, how do you do completing square method is there are a couple of steps that you have to follow. Step number one is make sure the coefficient of x square is 1. In this case, this is 1. After that, what you do is look at the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x here is 4. Okay, so what you do is you take half of that coefficient of x. So you take half of that 4. So half of 4 is 2, and then you take square of that number. So you get 4. So the resultant number that you get, what you do is you add that number and you subtract that number. Okay, so let's see how do we do that. So we have integral of square root of x square plus 4x. So let's add that number 4. So you add that number, okay, and then you write plus 1, what is already there, and then you subtract that number to nullify that effect. And we are integrating this with respect to x. Essentially, what you do is when you add the number, make sure you do it after the linear term. And when you subtract it, remember that you do it after the constant term. That will just make your life a little bit easier when you simplify it further. Now notice that the first three terms inside of this square root are a complete square, which is why this method is called a completing square method. So if you notice this, they are nothing but x plus 2 the whole square. Okay, so this integral will become square root of x plus 2 the whole square, and 1 minus 4 is nothing but minus 3, and we are integrating obviously with respect to x. The beauty of completing square is after doing the addition and subtraction of that resultant number that you get over here, the first three terms will always form a complete square like you see here. Okay, after doing this, what you have to do, you can apply the formula. So first of all, this 3 can be written as square root of 3 square. So we have integral of square root of x plus 2 the whole square minus, you can write it as square root of 3 square with respect to x. Now, whenever you see a function which is of the type x square minus a square or square root of x square minus a square, there is a standard formula that we would like to use. Remember that integral of square root of x square minus a square with respect to x, there is a standard formula. The formula says it is x by 2 square root of x square minus a square, then it is minus a square by 2 ln mod x plus square root of x square minus a square. That's the formula. That is a standard formula for such integrals that I would like you students to remember. If you want the full formula list of this special formulas in integrals, I have attached a link in the description from where you will be able to download the PDF of these formulas. Okay, I'll make that available to you in the description. So do check the description out. Now let's apply this formula in this integral. So if you apply that formula here, you get, so essentially remember it's x by 2. So it's that variable divide by 2. So in our case, we have x plus 2 divide by 2. And then we write square root of the same function that we have here. So if you want to write the same function, you can write this whole thing. Or if you want to just write a simplified version, I would just write this function over here, the original integral, x square plus 4x plus 1. So x square plus 4x plus 1. Okay, because essentially this would simplify just to give you this part. Okay, and then it is minus a square by 2. So you have minus, a is 3 over here, so minus root 3 square divided by 2 ln mod, okay, x plus, so x over here is x plus 2. So we have x plus 2 plus square root of x square minus a square, which is nothing but the same thing again. So square root of x square plus 4x plus 1. Let's close that mod, and this is nothing, let's add the constant of integration c, and this is nothing but the final result of the integral that we are looking to solve. You can write this square root of 3 square as just 3, and then really what you see here is the final result of this integral. I hope that makes sense. I know this formula is a little bit lengthier to remember, but it makes your life really easy if you remember these special formulas of integral. If you want to master calculus, hit that subscribe button today. I'll see you tomorrow.